Mike Vrabel, Elliott Wolf, and Robert Kraft are already making some tweaks to the roster. They've extended a player, they've waived a guy, and now there's possibly some trade rumors going on about another key position. We're going to break that down here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. Who could be the next player moved from the roster or tweaked on their contract? Well, this is why you guys tune into Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I'll break it down for you guys, but I have one quick favor to ask here because, look, Chat Sports is really pushing our division down our neck. They added a Jets channel, and now we're ramping up a Bills report here at By Chat Sports. So right now, they have 434 subscribers throughout the month of February. It's not terrible. But we have 223 subscribers at the month of February. We cannot lose to the Bills report. Go on ahead, help us out by hitting that sub button right now on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. There have been two moves made and then one rumor that is circulating. So I'm going to move around the least to most surprising moves for the Patriot. Number one, the least surprising move made by Mike Vrabel is they have waived Okorafor. The reason why this isn't surprising is because we haven't seen Mr. Okorafor since week 1 of the 2024 NFL season. He left the team after playing 12 snaps in week 1. He did not show up for week 2. He pretty much quit the team. He did tell Drake Maye that maybe he's going to consider his future in the NFL and see what suits he and his family best, but we haven't heard anything since then on whether or not he is going to retire. So knowing that he was technically a part of the Patriots roster last year, but really wasn't a part of the team, I'm not surprised. They just waived him. He was a free agent anyways, and he will not be returning to the Patriots next season. A little bit more of a surprise here is that they extended Jeremiah Pharms yesterday. Obviously, the defensive end did step in really into a big role as Daniel Ekuale and Christian Barmore, Devon Godchaux were all dealing with a little bit of injuries. So Pharms really produced, especially in that Week 10 victory over the Chicago Bears, where he had probably his best career game. So I could see why Vrabel probably wants to extend that depth piece a little bit more. The tweet did come out that they are retaining defensive lineman Jeremiah Pharms by signing him to a 2-year contract extension. Pharms logged 33 total tackles and 2 sacks last season for New England. Once again, not really your typical starter on that 3-4 front with Keon White, a healthy Barmore, and a healthy Devon Godchaux. But if he's going to show aggression, Mike Vrabel, Terrell Williams, they've already said how much they want to have aggressive players on their defense. And when you're looking at this depth chart here, Keon White, Devon Godchaux, Christian Barmore, these should be the key aggressors for the 3-4 front. And then you'll have a Daniel Ekuale or have their Jeremiah Pharms start to fill in and take over for those starters in between reps. So once again, not the biggest move made by Vrabel, we hope, so far since he's been the head coach, but it's good to know that he is realizing that we do still have a lot of talent on this team on offense and on defense that you can utilize moving forward. You don't have to rebuild from the bottom up everywhere and just start with those depth pieces, especially because we know that Christian Barmore has had some injuries in the past with blood clots, and he's been dealing with that throughout the offseason and regular season. But he did just recently tweet yesterday this little glass. What is it called? The glass with sand in it? Hourglass. Thank you. My goodness. Christian Barmore tweets out his hourglass. Kind of a cryptic tweet here, but if he can be ready to go and give us a full season of health, I think that would be a huge move, backing up Jeremiah Pharms, giving Christian Barmore that added depth and a little bit of that reassurance to make sure that he can take his rehab seriously and come back stronger than ever. So I have a question for you guys. I know that our defense wasn't that great last year, but we did have some key pieces that we can take moving forward. Can the Patriots have a top 10 defense this year with Terrell Williams, adding on some outside players and extending some interior guys? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I have one more possible shocking move for the Patriots coming up here on the back half of the show. Before I hop into that, let me go ahead and tell you guys real quick about our sponsor on Patriots Today by Chat Sports, and that's Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America with over 10 million active users playing right now, including myself and even producer Lopez. If you guys want to go ahead and test out your skills and see how well you know ball, it's super easy. Just download the PrizePicks app and just pick more or less on a player's projected stats. That way you guys can win up to 1,000 times your cash. That's right, up to 1,000 times your cash. I play PrizePicks every single game day, and I know the football season may be over, but basketball season is heating up. Here are my PrizePicks for the evening's games. I am taking advantage of PrizePicks promotion on Tuesday. Every Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday, which means they're going to give you a discounted projected stat for a player. As you guys can see, Joel Embiid is going to have a little bit of a discount here on his total points, rebounds, and assists from 42.5 knocked down to 36.5. I'm going to take that more. Then I'll have Andrew Nembhard to have less than 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists as well. Feel free to copy mine or go on ahead and make your own. Go on ahead and download the PrizePicks app. Use promo code CLNS. This will give you guys $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Download the PrizePicks app. Use promo code CLNS. This will give you guys $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Don't even need to win that first lineup to get that $50. It is guaranteed. Go on ahead, test out your skills right now on PrizePicks. Download the app today. PrizePicks, run your game. A surprising move the Patriots could make is trading Joe Milton. They cut Okorafor. They extended Pharms. Now could they possibly trade? That rumor is really starting to heat up here. NFL insiders are saying that maybe Joe Milton could be worth up to a third-round pick, so maybe they should start shopping him. Greg Bedard here on the Boston Sports Journal did say that I thought the Patriots would hold off on entertaining a trade of Joe Milton, who was drafted in the 6th round last year, for at least another season. But there's increasing belief around the NFL the Patriots are at least contemplating a trade of Milton this offseason. Again, I'm not saying he's on the block right now, but the Patriots will likely consider it when everything settles with the front office and coaching staff. And then he went on to say, some league executives believe the Patriots could acquire a third-round pick for Milton. Look, I understand that right now the Patriots are trying to eye as many resources as they can on offense and on defense. But if Joe Milton, right now in February, is worth a third-round pick, why don't we wait just a little bit longer and let all the teams really grasp their understandings of their rosters and maybe even try a Joe Milton for DK Metcalf type of trade? A third-round pick is great. I'm not saying that's not bad. But could Joe Milton possibly be worth more later down the road? Because when you look at what our quarterback depth chart is right now, Jacoby Brissett will be a free agent. They're probably not going to re-sign Jacoby Brissett because he did his job. He mentored Drake Maye. He played a little bit longer than I would have wanted in the regular season. But Joe Milton showcased his mobile ability, his strength in that Week 18 win against the Buffalo Bills, which is why I'm starting to think that Joe Milton is your clear-cut quarterback too. But if there are quarterback-needy teams out there right now, could the Patriots possibly keep him and sign another veteran like a Jacoby Brissett, like a mentor to keep helping Drake Maye and Joe Milton thrive? Or could you trade him player for player right now? Let's talk about adding another veteran. Could the Patriots possibly sign Jameis Winston in free agency? I mean, that would be the most shocking move of all. Winston, obviously, right now the backup quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, but he's also a character on and off the field. And there's one thing you guys know about Winston. He preaches, literally. On the field, in the locker room, off the field, he is probably the definition of greatest locker room attribute you could ever have in professional sports. So before I hop into the latest rumors on why they might be interested in bringing Jameis Winston to the Patriots, let me ask you guys this. Sign him? Yes or no? Type S for sign, type P for pass. Say we don't need it. Keep Joe Milton. We're good with 2 quarterbacks and we'll just sign, some emergency quarterback later down the road. The reason why Winston is now coming up is because, number one, he was in NOLA all weekend for the Super Bowl, and he was a treat. He was just such a joy riding around, making friends, and really trying to talk to as many NFL analysts as he possibly could. And here is what Winston had to say on Mike Vrabel to CLNS about what he feels the Patriots are doing in the offseason. I know that your team is going to be disciplined. I know that your team is going to be tough. I know he's going to bring back that Patriot way. So Jameis Winston can already see the Mike Vrabel effect happening in New England. Would he possibly want to sign on and be a part of that? Why? Because he spent time with Mike Vrabel in Cleveland this last year as he was the backup quarterback and Mike Vrabel worked in the front office. So he got to know Jameis Winston a little bit. He's 31 years old and he is a solid backup free agent right now in the NFL. And if you want to move on from Jacoby Brissett, and you may end up moving on from Joe Milton in a possible trade scenario, should the Patriots lock down Jameis Winston to be the backup for Drake Maye and really harp on bringing good energy back to the Patriots franchise? Well, I'm probably going to pass on Jameis Winston. I think he's great. I would love to hear his podcast one day, but I would so much rather have Joe Milton as your backup quarterback than to bring in Jameis Winston. I think he's fine, but I think Drake Maye is such a special talent that it takes a really good player to kind of replicate that skill set, which I think Joe Milton does. The arm strength, the mobility, the football IQ on the field. I don't know if I'm ready to trade Milton yet, but I definitely don't think I'm ready to sign Jameis Winston. But if the Patriots do end up making a move, we'll make a video about it right here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. If you guys haven't already, go on ahead, help us out, and hit that sub button.